Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Studio Time with Ryos. Guys, for today's episode, I'm feeling very inspired to make some progressive house. Before we get into it, I just want to plug quickly that I just had my October monthly sample pack drop for Patreon. If you didn't already know, members of my Patreon get sample packs every month, among other things. Link for that will be down below in the description. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. So we are here in FL Studio as always. I've got a few sounds pulled up today. I have this new lead stack that I made. It's actually kind of a variation of the lead stack that I used in my Memories remix. So I got that. Sounds like this. And then I also just have a simple piano pulled up that we can use to try out some melodies. And speaking about melodies, for today, I'm thinking I want to make something off of a melody that I've previously made. Because what I like to do sometimes is I like to just make melodies, and that's it. And then I save them in my little folder over here. And sometimes I forget about them. So there's a few that I know off the top of my head that I want to try. One of them is actually this Catafast melody. So let's see what this sounds like. So proggy. Is that a word? Proggy? Proggy Froggy? That should be a mascot for Progressive House. The Proggy Froggy. Anyway, I want to try simplifying the chords here. Let's maybe get rid of that guy. Yeah, my initial thought process was because this is a faster melody, maybe the chord should be a little slower, kind of anchor the melody a bit. I think the best thing to do straight away is let's try this on the big lead and see how that sounds. So it sounds really good on the big leads. Let me try to do a bass line now. So what I'm thinking today, like something that I'm inspired to do, is use a faster paced bass line. So one that is a bit more rhythmic. Now, it's funny because I just said how I need to simplify the chords in order to complement basically the faster melody. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. I know coming into today, I've been listening to a lot of prog that has faster bass lines. That's always something that I've kind of gravitated towards. So I'm going to see if I can make it work. I actually like the sound a lot, but maybe I'll use it down the line. I need kind of my main bass right now. Yeah, I think this one will be good. There's a lot of potential for movement here. So as far as the rhythm goes, like I'm hearing like a galloping rhythm or like a dum 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 kind of rhythm. Yeah, I'm also hearing some other ideas for pitch automation. I'm going to go ahead and get that in right now. Okay, I love this idea, but I feel like the responsible side of me is telling me that this is a little too crazy. Let's try a version where it's more sustained. And then as far as movement goes, what we can do for movement is just have the last bar tape stop, kind of like how it is now. Let's see what this would sound like. Oh, whoa. Okay, I'll leave this one in the back pocket because I am a really big fan of the rhythm. I do think it's going to be a little too crazy, though. So we'll go for the simpler rhythm right now. Now let's try to get some like magical strings going or a big pad or something of the sorts. And then I also want to finalize this chord MIDI too, because I don't, like this is pretty plain Jane. It sounds good on the piano, but I don't know if it's going to sound good elsewhere. I guess, I'm trying to think. Sometimes I like to do this with like an init pad kind of sound, but maybe we'll just go straight to a pad. I want like strings. Yeah, I love this one. Let's go here. I'm just going to make the attack a lot faster. Or at least faster too. Okay. Yeah, what if we went to C here? Definitely, oh, definitely add a B here. I could totally add an A here, but I kind of like the idea of it just going from A to C. Yeah, I like that idea of a top melody, but if it winds up giving me problems, I'll just add that A back in. Both of these sounds now, the pad and the bass that I have in there, are really heavy in this mid-range, or low mid-range. So I'm just going to take some away. And honestly, I can even cut the lows too. And this sound, what we could do is something similar. Dude, that's a vibe. Speaking of, let's go get some vibey atmosphere sounds now. Let's see. What do I got here? What am I? I think I'm in A minor, right? Yeah. All right, now, to be completely honest, I was looking for something more like this. Like an Atmos bed, I like to call them. But this Atmos shot, I guess, sounds really sick. So we'll keep this in there. But yeah, let's get an Atmos bed. Maybe this one again, except we pitch it down this time. Yeah, this one works great here too. Let's use it. The reason I say two is because I recently used this one in my White Horses remix. I actually made this for White Horses. But yeah, sick. Okay, so there's a few other sounds that I really want to try. So number one, there's a really cool sound in Analog Lab. It's kind of like a horn, and it's pretty similar to the floating strings that I have, but I am curious to try that. So either I replace the floating strings or use this one, or use both. So I just took a few seconds to organize the project, and while I was doing that, I was messing around with muting some sounds, and actually I think I don't even need the Beauty Atmos now that I have those horns in, so I'm just going to mute them for now, and now let's get some more sounds in. We're going to go to Silent, we're going to get the Eclipse bass in. That's right, my song that came out over a decade ago now, which is insane, but the bass that I use is pretty standard. Let me go ahead and open that up. And by the way, I never liked that with Silent, I can browse through banks, but I can't browse through presets. I got to open this. Got to blur this in editing. Go to Silent, presets. There's got to be a way. But anywho, here's the Eclipse bass. It's such a simple, standard progressive house bass. But it's what we need right now. So this will kind of be the fuzzy bass. And then the other one right now will be a little bit more of a mid-range bass. So I'm going to process them accordingly. Holy... Oh, there's a fly down here. Get out. Oh, that's so annoying. So for this one, the one that I want to be more of like a mid-range bass, I'm going to process it very briefly with just some simple distortion. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the tone a little brighter. There is one thing I want to do on the Eclipse bass. Number one, I just brought it down an octave. And then also, I'm going to roll off the lows so that I can make room for the sub. And it actually is pretty plain Jane. So maybe I'll just throw a little compression on it through Camel Crusher. Just to spice it up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Now that sounds really cool as a starting point for the basses. Like I just mentioned, we are going to need a sub. I'll just go for a simple prog sub here. See if 1 or 2 sounds better. And then let's also, since we're here, just link this to the automation. Okay. No. Dude, my apologies. If this fly keeps making an appearance... Yeah, prog sub 2 sounds awesome. And then now what I'm thinking is, and this is more thinking long-term with the drop, I'm going to need more high-end frequencies in the chords in the supporting synth group. So I can maybe layer some kind of like saw pad or something. I want to try to keep it kind of clean right now. The vibe is definitely not super like electronic, if that makes sense. So I want to maybe layer a... What can I do? Let's see if these chord sounds will work. This one's called progressive. Surely this is a good one. Yeah, I prefer this high end a lot more. It's very it's like buzzy but clean at the same time, if that makes any sense. That's perfect. Okay. Okay, so, I mean, this is an awesome start. This sounds so good. Let's go ahead and let's start copying everything over and making a drop. Because with a drop, sometimes the needs are different. So, like, some of these sounds might work really well in a dreamy hands-up section, but they actually might not work as well in a drop. So, that's the next order of business. So, what I'm going to do is let's go to the new pack. Let's get some drum sounds going. This kick is really good. So we'll get this guy in first. And then also, as always, since I'm getting the kick in, I'm just going to also add sidechain to everything too quickly. So yeah, you can see what I mean. Like, these sounds, they still sound really good, don't get me wrong, but in a drop setting, they're like too soft, basically. So we need to make some sounds more aggressive. I guess let's get some more drum sounds in first, and then I'll focus on making the synths a little bit more aggressive. At least, you know, for the drop, I'm gonna leave them the same here. So we'll get some fills and some rides, of course. So for the fills, I put a bunch of new ones in the pack, like that one's sick, and then double clap, dos clap. Definitely gonna want to use both of these, and then maybe we'll use this one too, maybe. But let's also get some rides going. Do I want to go clean or do I want to go noisy? or even short like this one. I feel like a tighter ride might actually work better, but let's see. We'll have to test it out. Tight ride. Let's line up these fills. Let's do maybe this one right here. Or maybe flip-flop them, actually. Now, the next thing that I would get is... Bum, bum, bum. Let's get some on-beat claps going. I want some really wide claps. What happens if I just search wide clap? This one's good. Transient's a bit harsh, so let's use LFO tool and let's just do this. Yeah, sometimes I don't want the transient to stack with the kick. Sometimes it does sound cool, but I think in this case it's better clean. Now, I'm also thinking about layering this clap with one that has a little bit more of like a tail to it. Yeah, why not? You know, we're still missing some high-end frequencies in the drums, so maybe we'll get one more kind of sound going. But I do want more sparkle, so let's open up fresh air. Now that the drums are down, I'm hearing a few changes that we can make to the synths and the bass to get some more energy and like some more power. The bass stack, I want more of like a metallic bass going. Yeah, like this sounds good, but like I think this bass has so much more potential. So let's work on this. I really want to compress it and distort it like crazy. So that's like a starting point. And then I also want to add like some kind of like metallic or tin quality to it. Ooh, that's sick. I like that. Let's lower the mix just a little bit. Now what I want to do for the Eclipse bass is I also want to distort it even more so that it really has that squashed character. Or not even squashed, but more of like a growl. Yeah. Okay, now if this doesn't sound mean enough, then I'm going to layer one more bass, and that's going to be a really heavily distorted high mid bass. But let's first go to the chords. So the piano is obviously like, this is just more suited for a break. So we're going to go ahead and just get rid of that. Okay, next on the chord group, I want to tweak this just a little bit. Whoa, what happened to my mixer? It's so tiny. So now in the chord group, I want to add a little bit of something. Perhaps OTT. Okay, yo, now we're getting somewhere. Now, one thing I'm actually exploring is getting rid of the dance piano, because I think for this style of melody, because it's so fast-paced, I really don't want any counteracting rhythms. I said that multiple times, actually, because we were talking about the bass, too, how I did that faster bass in the beginning. I do think simpler is the move for this track. All right, so as a sort of checkpoint, I want to say two things that are on my mind right now. Number one, kind of a big thing, I don't know if I'm so in love with this melody. I love the idea because I went and like used the bathroom before and it's definitely stuck in my head, but I think I need to tweak certain notes. So I'm not sure. Usually what happens, and I've said this before, but sometimes like I'll make a melody and when I come back to it, then it becomes like clear. So maybe I just need to take a break. The next thing is I do feel like the kick and the sub aren't working the best together. So what I want to try to do actually is I want to sidechain the kick to the LFO tool just so that I can see it, and then I'm going to make a curve custom to the kick. So I go to the kick, open up LFO tool, turn on this graph, and then Let's put this rate to 1/4. Yeah, okay. So now I'm going to basically draw the inverse of this. Something like this. And then what I could do now is I'll bring this over to my sub. And then now, instead of going to the right to activate the sidechain, I'm going to go to the left, because this is going to do the opposite of what we see here, which is the curve that we just drew for our kick. And I think this is going to work better with our kick now, so let's test it. Perfect. All right. I want to quickly experiment with the melody. I'm hearing a different beginning, actually, instead of this F. Yo, I think I like this more. Hold up. Definitely feeling that melody a lot more. I want to circle back to the break now with this new melody. Plus, it'll kind of give my ears a break from the drop. But I do think the drop is also sounding really, really good. Anywho, let's open up an instance of Serum. And I wanted to get a pluck going with this melody. Ooh. I love that pluck. We need to sauce it up just a little bit, though. I'm hearing in my head it being a bit brighter and actually, like, dirtier at the same time. Let's open up Origin. Whoa. Okay, wait, that sounds cool, but let's not jump the gun. Let's sauce this pluck up some more. I definitely like this Origin as a starting point. We do need some sense of space. Let's go ahead. Let's get vintage verb going. Some delay, too. Yo, the way this is sounding, it actually might work really cool in the drop too. But again, let me not jump the gun. Let me take off the delay and the reverb that's happening in the synth. And then I also want to adjust the release. A bit tighter. Oh, much better. Yo, wait, this actually might work so well in the drop. Do I want the piano as a part of the break? Yeah, the piano's nice, but it is so undercompressed right now. Let's go for RVox again. In the last video, I think it was, I showed that I use RVox sometimes for just quick, simple compression. Yeah. Why not? Nice and easy. Now, I do want to get another chord sound in. This sound. Maybe bring it down an octave. Yeah, there we go. Now I gotta try because I'm so curious. Does the pluck sound good in the drop too? I feel like this would make it a little like more characteristic, or it would make the drop leads have more character. Dude, I love it in the drop. Okay, so now the next order of business would be to start building out the build. For the build, I'm going to have the floating strings and horns come in. And what I'll do to make my life easy is I'll do that on the chord group for the drop. So I'm just filtering both of the chords right now, high pass and low pass. I want to experiment with also bringing in the bass in this build-up. I feel like the bass is so sick. I would love to hear it in the build-up. Let's put Simplon on. Yeah, dude, are you kidding me? That sounds sick. I'm probably going to keep it sidechained actually, so we have a little bit of groove going. I want to filter the leads in the build-up. Alrighty, so this will be the filter that we slowly open up. Now, I'm also hearing another idea right now. I want to loop this section. Sometimes in progressive house, you should just let the melody play all the way through, but I'm kind of hearing this right now. Now I reckon it is time for some build drums. So we'll go for a classic kind of build snare. One of these. Now let's get the rhythm in. Yeah. Okay, I'm hearing plenty of ideas. So next, we're going to get a build kick. Should we get a clap? We could get a clap in, why not? Sick. Obviously, I need to adjust the rhythm so that they complement each other better, but these sounds work great. Let me also just get in some risers and impacts and that good stuff too. For a build like this, maybe we'll go for... yeah, something a little more cinematic. Simple downlifter, maybe? Nah, let's get something different, actually. Something a little bit more lasery. Yeah. Okay, now I'm hearing multiple risers, but we definitely have to go the classic laser route. Wait, hold on. I clicked something. I just click. Was it this? Maybe this could work as a pre-drop fill. I don't know. I heard something. I think it was this sample. Anyway. Yeah, so let's get a classic laser riser in there. Ooh, I have this one too. Ooh, I love the dirty pong riser. Amazing. And then now we just need kind of a standard riser to layer everything else with. So probably going to rock with either this one or the Battlefield one. Let's test both. Maybe one more riser too. I'm feeling toxic. Greyhound one. Don't tell them. Okay, now another thing that we have to do for the build, in order for it to sound good. Oh, it started pretty good and then my accent sucked. We need to pitch up the snare in order for it to sound very progressive house. So, yeah, like that. All right, ladies and gents, build sounds phenomenal. This idea sounds phenomenal. I would like to spend just a little bit more time very quickly, maybe adding some final details here, maybe some fills. So I'm thinking like right here, I've been loving that spray fill, and life's too short to not use fills more than once. So I'm going to go ahead and use it again. I'm hearing it like right here. Yeah. Shout out the spray fill. Of course, we need some drop splashes and stuff. I've been using this combo a lot recently, but it sounds so good. And then maybe just one more thing to give the drop some smack when it drops, either an exhaust or a crash effect. Maybe this one. And then for the second half of the drop, just very simply right now, I'll just get a quick clap down as a filler. Just so we have something to listen to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote. Let's take a listen from the top, and let's see what I came up with. A little bit of prog magic for your Friday or whatever day you're watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did enjoy today's episode, please be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time I upload. Be sure to check out my Patreon. We got lessons, feedback, sample packs, much more. Link for that will be down below in the description. So that'll be all for me today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.